the thetibbarguy Apex adjustable weight bench and their entire ecosystem of attachments might just be the most talked about home gym equipment release of the summer. But is it genius or just really good marketing? I'll also be talking about how I'm working to heal from a brand new injury, my 2 favorite home gym videos this week, and allegedly, if you stick around to the end, we'll update you on what's going on with Vulcan Strength versus Glux Gym lawsuit in this Home Gym Week in Review. The No Fate channel, checking in. Hey, Jonathan here, and when it comes to adjustable weight bench ecosystem of attachments, hey, it's not necessarily a brand new thing. Ironmaster has been doing it for a while now, and a number of other companies are jumping on the bandwagon. We've got Rep Fitness's Nighthawk with more and more attachments. Who knows what they're going to be coming out with in the next year? And Freak Athlete's ABX adjustable weight bench has a ton of attachments too. And now we've got the thetibbarguy Apex bench with more attachments than I can count. Is this thing a mere clone of everybody else, or is it a real game changer? The Apex adjustable bench, this has an entire ecosystem, and we're seeing more and more companies moving towards an ecosystem where they don't just sell you the bench for $500, and we're gonna add that to the cart. Yeah, we are. They also sell you all of these attachments, especially if you are in a smaller home gym, in hopes of kind of getting a ton of versatility. So we got the leg trainer, the Bartlett belt squat, the Apex matrix machine. These things have crazy names. The striker pad, ooh, I like that name. We've got the Nordic Max, the hybrid board, the Apex ab trainer, or in my case, just big old dad bod belly trainer, the Apex dip station, the power tower, the Apex landmine, the band pegs, Apex belt squat, cable system, resistance bands, and weight clips. Phew. Now, home gym ecosystems for weight benches aren't new, and some of these attachments, quite frankly, aren't new either. So listen, leg trainer, tons of companies have them. They vary in price and quality and strength curve. Dip station, ab trainer, these are things that people kind of already have in the repertoire. I mean, power tower, but I will give credit where credit's due. It looks as though they went the extra mile. So as an example, this dip station just isn't a piece of metal. This actually has a little bit of angle on the side, and more importantly, it has knurling. Power tower has not just a pull-up bar, but it's got multi-point pull-up bars, and it's got knurling too. And you know we love our knurling, especially on a pull-up bar. And that's not something you typically see when it comes to attachments for your adjustable bench. And this is the one that I think kind of stands out the most to me, is the belt squat for 3 reasons. This thing has a stand. That stand is a make or break for a belt squat. It makes it so much easier to get in position. It also has a handle, right? If you don't realize you need a handle on a belt squat until you go super heavy, and then you realize you need a handle on a belt squat. And the last thing that, again, people don't realize is this lever arm. It's so long because it's the whole length of the bench and then some. That's going to give you a much better experience, more leg activation. It's not going to pull you in as much as your typical belt squat. And I think this is probably the one, again, I'm most excited about. Something I really like about the thetibbarguy Apex bench is, quite frankly, they didn't just clone what was already out there. They didn't just say, okay, that works, we're gonna just make that and try to do it cheaper. No, they went the extra mile. They made a great bench. It's in and of itself that's versatile, and they added great ecosystem of attachments, tons of attachments. So many attachments that if you added them all up, it's gonna be very expensive. But the nice thing about those attachments are they put their twist on it. So it's not just a regular dip handle that's just a frankly bent piece of metal. It's got knurling, it's got pads. The landmine attachment is something we've never seen on a bench, as well as that striker pad. I think that has a lot of versatility that people are going to capitalize on in terms of like overhead press, overhead tricep extension, seal rows, preacher work, that kind of stuff. Now, when it comes to these benches and having entire ecosystem of attachments, it's clear that you are only gonna buy what you need. Let me know in the comments below, if you were to buy this bench, which attachments would you actually use and use regularly? Some of these attachments seem really cool, but I don't necessarily know if I would have a use case, at least in my home gym, to buy them. Now, the idea that this bench is gonna save you a ton of space in your home gym does give it an extra oomph, an extra push for a lot of people working with small spaces. The only caveat to that is, as you build up all of these attachments, you gotta find a place to store them. If you're interested in an honest and detailed review of the Apex bench, well, hit that subscribe button. Perfect. So anyone who's been lifting for any length of time, especially more so as we age, has to deal with injuries. And I am no exception. Knock on wood, I've actually been fairly healthy in the injury department as far as the past few years go. But recently I strained my left knee. I honestly don't know how I did it, but if I had to guess, I would say it was from doing too much rowing. I got a couple of rowers in here to review for the channel, and I love to row. I think it's a great cardio exercise, but I probably overdid it. So I either inflamed the joint or did something to put too much wear and tear on my knee, and now I'm paying the price. Thankfully, it seems to be rather minor in the grand scheme of things, especially when it comes to the knee joint. But 2 weeks in, I want to give you an update and just walk you through what I have been doing and what my current protocol is when it comes to an injury. So number one, when you do injure it, you try not to just tough it out and get through your workout. So I had to take a step back and take some time off, and nobody likes that. Now, in the olden days, the doctors would say, take weeks and weeks off. I don't think you should do that personally. And no, this is not medical advice at all. I'm a big believer that blood flow and movement help heal a joint, a ligament, a tendon that much quicker, because you're going to get that blood and nutrients into the joint. So you've got to do what you can in order to get that circulation up, get that body part moving as much as you can without causing further injury or taking a step back in the healing process. Now, one of the main features of my current protocol is this massager, Bob and Brad. It's not any pneumatic massager because it's got a secret weapon. That's right, it comes with an attachment that delivers not only heat, but red light therapy, the best of both worlds. So I love this bad boy because it's so small. I can actually travel with this. So if I have to travel for work, I put it in the pretty little case that it comes with. And if I've been driving for a while, I feel a little tight in the knee, I'll give it 5 minutes of this, give it the heat, give it that red light. Also, at my work desk, I don't have to have some massive massager sitting on it. I just grab this thing, and again, a couple times a day, 5 minutes, I just massage that area lightly. Again, we're trying to heal. We don't want to dig into the tissue, but this thing gives you that heat. And again, that heat delivers blood flow. The pneumatic massager portion of this thing also helps stimulate blood flow. And then the red light therapy is just good overall. I'm a big fan of this one. I've got a ton of them at home because I've reviewed so many for the YouTube channel, but this is the one that I have been using consistently, trying to get that red light therapy in, which has been shown to work over time. No, it's not going to make miracles happen. You're not going to turn into Wolverine, but the scientific studies have shown that you are going to see more improvement than not using the red light therapy. Now, as far as ice goes, I'm not a big believer in ice as far as improving the healing process. If you are in pain, then yes, you can use ice to kind of help get that inflammation down and reduce the pain you're in. But I don't think necessarily it goes a long way to helping you heal, especially in the long term. I'm a much bigger believer in getting heat into that joint or that tissue that you're having an issue with, stretching, getting that blood flowing and getting that movement. As far as battery life onto this bad boy, I've been using this thing for 3 weeks. I'm too lazy. I haven't charged it yet. It's supposed to give you like 3 hours of like continuous use. I've probably gone past that on this charge, and as soon as this video's over, I will plug it in. Cost-wise, I think it sits around $100. We just had Amazon Prime Day. This thing was $67, which is absolutely bonkers to me on how good this is. Now, it does come with like 6 attachments, including my main guy right here. Forget those other attachments. I haven't touched them once. This thing is the best attachment they have. It's the only one that I've been using, and it has made my knee feel much, much better. On top of the massage, I also will use compression boots. That's something that I've been trying out newly this past year. And honestly, when I first saw those compression boots, I laughed. I thought they were a gimmick. Kind of on the side of that they actually work. What's nice about those compression boots, especially if you are injured and you're not able to get up and do as much cardio as you normally would, do as much movement, is that they actually stimulate that blood flow, allowing you to kind of push some of the fluid away from your joints, away from your legs, and again, stimulate that blood flow. The ones that I have, I don't even know the name of them. They're great because they're mobile. I can do them at my desk. I can literally like set it up in my office desk, have my legs going like crazy, and I'm still typing away, no problem. Or you can do it when you're like sitting on the couch or the bed. And the last thing I've been doing, trying to get back to 100%, is to get back into the gym. And that's probably the hardest part, because mentally, we just want to pick up where we left off. And that is that bro mentality. And trust me, I have to fight it intensely. I purposely have been using ultralight weight. I've been going through the motion, making sure that I'm not feeling any pain or discomfort doing those exercises, getting my joints and body used to the weight, pyramiding up to a threshold that's probably about 60 to 70% of my max, and then backing off a little bit, seeing how I feel the next day, seeing if my knee is worse or if it just feels the same or even better. I've also been avoiding, at least up to this point, lunges, because I feel like they put a lot of strain on my knee. Even though I love that exercise and I feel like they're fine for healthy knees, at this point, I want to kind of work those in even more gradually than the squatting. Fingers crossed, I expect to be back at where I was before the knee strain in about 2 weeks. And as you can imagine, I'm probably going to take it a lot easier on the rowing from here on out. It's time for the question of the week. And in my last review of the Force USA M10 that used a 2x2 11 gauge steel uprights, I got so many comments about 2x2 is horrible, you should go 3x3. And I know the home gym heroes out there all want 3x3. That's the standard because they're so strong and they want to make sure that all of their attachments fit on that particular power rack. But I want your opinion. Comment down below. Is 3x3 a must-have in a home gym? And is the hatred for a 2x2 power rack warranted?
You just gotta keep living, man.
2 videos stood out to me this week in the home gym multiverse. One was Luke's Garage Gym. He actually had a 48-hour home gym transformation. The reason I really like this video is because it proves that you don't need more equipment to improve your home gym. Sometimes it's the simple things like upgrading your lighting, getting a can of paint and putting it on your walls, and maybe fixing up your flooring, and poof, you got a completely different lifting experience, even though the equipment hasn't changed at all. And another video that was a standout to me was from the Sweatshop Dad. He does home gym equipment reviews. Subscribe to him if you haven't already. And he talks about people criticizing the expense of home gyms. I love this video for a number of reasons. Number one, it was short, and the YouTube algorithm hates short videos, but from my perspective, I love keeping things short and tight and fast-paced so that you get in, you get the information, you have a fun time watching the video, and you get out. But more importantly was his takeaway on home gym expenses. And no one has ever saved money starting a home gym, especially compared to like a $20 monthly gym membership at Planet Fitness. But the truth is, when it comes to what we put money on, what we spend money on, home gyms, even though they're expensive, they do have a return in value because they last so long. When you buy a barbell for $300, $500, yes, that's a big price to pay, but it ain't ever gonna break. Never, ever. Conversely, you buy a washing machine and you were lucky to get 6, maybe 10 years out of that with a few calls to your local repairman in between. Everything that we buy these days seems to cost more and more money, and most of it is disposable, whether that's coffee at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, whether that's anything and everything, food, groceries, air filters, water purifiers. You buy it, you use it, and you've got to buy it again. With gym equipment, at the very least, you buy it and you own it forever. I mean, I've yet to have a piece of gym equipment break on me. Sure, I've bought stuff and gotten rid of stuff, but none of it has broken on me. Even some of the cheapest stuff I have ever reviewed in my home gym, I'm sure is still being utilized somewhere in someone's space. And quite frankly, you guys all will spend a couple grand on a phone, but then that phone's only going to last you 2 or 3 years before you need the newest, latest, and greatest version. If you are enjoying today's Home Gym Week in Review, then please use the affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. Of course, there's home gym equipment, tons of companies. If you can think of a gym equipment company, I got an affiliate link for it. But there's also energy drinks, pre-workout, taco seasoning, and discounted toilet paper. But it is never a one-way street. I'm not making you use those links. I'm not giving you something in return. You let me know when you use those links so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. Something that seems to have gone away, but it really hasn't, is the lawsuit between Vulcan Strength and Glock's Gym. If you're not familiar with the situation, Glock put out a review video of a piece of equipment that Vulcan Strength sent to him, and he basically gave his First Amendment opinion of what he thought, and it wasn't positive. But Vulcan Strength sued Glock's Gym, saying that they purposely disparaged the company and the product, and that his expertise made them have losses and stuff like that. Now, this is all alleged. I'm going to put the case files down below. But what's been happening, and unfortunately, the legal system around the country moves very slowly, and that causes a problem for people who do get sued like Glock's Gym, because it puts them in a sticky situation where they always have that hanging over their head. And a lot of companies, I'm not saying Vulcan Strength did this, but a lot of companies will use that lawsuit as a way to quiet or shut up people, and knowing that that lawsuit is going to take 2 or 3 years to clear up, even if they have got no leg to stand on, and it prevents certain people from vocalizing their situation, their side of it, and tries to kind of squash what's going on. I think I've made it fairly clear my opinion when it comes to the First Amendment, and that is, whether we like what people say or whether we hate what people say, they've got the right to say it. And I don't think any YouTuber or influencer or whoever who goes on social media should be sued over their opinion of a product, of an experience, of a restaurant, of anything. And I personally think that frivolous lawsuits are an absolute joke, and it's a way that a lot of expensive, high-priced companies utilize in order to crush the little guy. I don't like it. I think it's bullshit. I think it's a douche move, but that's just my opinion. Now, I'm not going to tell you the current situation in the Glock's Gym Vulcan Strength lawsuit, because I don't want to get sued. But what I will do is put ChatGPT's iteration up here, their response on where this lawsuit stands, what's happened up to this point, and where it's going in the future, and when we can expect it to be finalized, if ever. Comment below what your thoughts are on frivolous lawsuits. If you made it this far in the video, then you know what that means. Comment best friends down below so I know who made it all the way to the end. Use the affiliate links, hit the subscribe button. Most importantly, check out these 2 videos. The YouTube algorithm knows those are the ones you're going to want to watch next. And as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.